I thought I would do a video on some apps that you may find useful for practice. I do use these apps. I will say that I don't get paid by any of these companies. They're just apps that I think are useful and that you may also find useful. So we're going to look at 6 different apps. Some of them are obvious, some of them are not so obvious. I think a couple of them you have to pay for the app itself. The others are free, but they do have some additional in-app purchase options. So yeah, without talking too much, let's get on with it and show you these apps. I will say though, these are Apple, because I only use Apple stuff. I don't really use Android. However, there will be the equivalent, I'd imagine, on Android. I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, give it a like, give it a subscribe, and I'll see you later. So here is my iPad, and I'm in my music folder. So the first thing I'm going to look at is Guitar Tuner. And this is a great little tuner, really good accuracy. It uses the microphone on the iPad to pick up whether or not you're in tune. Okay, so it works really well as a tuner. I like it so far. It's very good. I will do that later. So it has some other tools on it as well. This is on the pro level, so this is really fine tuning. You can reduce it so it's not quite as accurate and it doesn't move around as much, but I think if you're going to use it, you might as well be as accurate as you can. So it has other tools. So in here we've got chords. So we've got a chord library. So you've got a C major, if you wanted a C sharp major, or D major. Okay, you've also got your minors, and it will give you loads of different inversions of chords. Okay, so it helps you find different shapes and different places to play chords if you need that sort of thing as well. So that is a really good, useful tool and gets you in tune before you even start. So back in my music folder, next up we're going to look at Metronome. So this is Metronome Pro, or Pro Metronome. So what I really like about this is, okay, you've got those different settings, so I'll show you some of them. So you can come into here and you can change the tone. So you've got that regular tone. Okay, so you've got you've got 12 different tones, or 13 different tones, sorry. So you've got plenty of choice if you don't like the sound of the original metronome. So then you can come back here, and when you're using this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Yeah, we don't want someone talking. So you can use the wheel to increase or decrease the speed. And what I like about this one, a lot of metronomes, they'll stop at 250 beats per minute, whereas this one will carry on. Okay, so you can also change the beat block if you want it visual. So if you don't want visuals, you can just have it as. Okay, and it will just beep on the 1. Or if you put the beat block back on, okay, and you can change the beat block to. So you can change the visuals on it as well. You can also set a timer. So if you want to practice for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever, you can set a timer to say if you want to practice scales for 15 minutes and then chords for 10 minutes to a click, you can do that and it will tell you when your practice time is run out. So that's really useful. And you can also do a tap on there as well, tap tempo. Again, this one does have some additional functions that you would need to pay additional for, so you can change things like you can have automation. Oh, you can change the time on it as well, the time signature. So if I wanted 5/4, six four, 6/8, 6/16. So that's really useful as well. And there's no lagging either. It works really quickly, so as soon as you type something in, it changes. There's no lag and it doesn't play up, so it's really reliable. So that's a great metronome. So that would be the second app that I would recommend. So next up is this app here, Tempo, or Tempo Slow Mo. So this will allow you to import a song and play it and change the speed. So if you want to slow a song down for practicing, so in here you can just select a song from your musical library. You need to make sure it's actually on the iPad. If it is just in the iCloud, it won't work, so you need to have it actually on the iPad. So I'm going to select a song. Okay, it's a bit of Joe Satriani. So we play the song. Now if you want to slow this down, and you've got this little indicator at the top which tells you the tempo of the song, so that's 69% of the original. Likewise, if you wanted to speed it up, okay, and you can change the volume of the song. You can change the place where the song is, whereabouts in the song you are. Oh. Again, what I really like about this app is there's no lag. You just change it and it works, and it's really reliable. It's never let me down, so that's a really good practice tool if you're trying to learn a song with some tricky parts. So next up is iReal Pro. So this is one of my favourite apps. So this one here is basically really good for jazz and blues and learning your chords. It's never ever done that before, but it would only do it on the day that I'm filming it. So you click in here and it's got a list of songs for you to practice. Okay, so let's just choose Jazz Waltz 1, okay, whatever that is. So there you have your Jazz Waltz 1. You play that. So we can slow that down. Or speed it up. Okay, so let's say you master that. You want to change key. Okay, so let's play it in G. Okay, it will change it for you automatically. Let's play it in E flat and it will change it. So it's basically got loads of songs, loads of every key. You can change the mix of the instruments. You can change the counting. Okay, it's really flexible. Again, you can try there's loads of standards in there. There's all sorts of stuff in there. This one you do have to pay for. It's quite expensive. I think it's about £13. But you know, to be able to play all of these songs in any key, all your arpeggios, all your scales, and practice over that, I think that's really good value for money. Okay, you can create playlists in there and all sorts. So that is a really good app for practicing your chords and your speed of thought and changing it into different keys so that you're not just playing the same thing in the same key all the time. So that's one that I really recommend, and I use that a lot. So next up is this functional ear training. So this is a really useful ear training tool. So it's got loads of different examples in there and different lessons to the major scale. So you would pick an exercise. So let's pick C major. So it will play the chords within that key, and then you have to find the note, whether it's the 1, 2, 3 or 4. Boom. Okay. Okay. Okay, so that's just an example in the key of C major. Then you can play it in C major over various octaves, all of the notes. So you've got some of the notes, the higher notes, all of the notes in the octave, multiple octaves, different keys, etc. Okay. Okay, so we know we're not in C major, so then you would have to find those chords, which will help you to learn chords by ear, and then find the note within the scale that you're playing. So it doesn't just do C major, it does major, chromatics, minor, chromatics in minor. Okay, it's got lots of different other tools in there, different practice. You can create a new level, and you can create your own little practice sessions in there as well. So that is a really useful one if your ear isn't very good and you need to work on that. And again, that's a completely free app, really good one. So last but not least is one of my favourite apps, which is Paper 53. So this one here gives you the ability to create notes. So you can either create notes with text, or you can draw. So I use this all the time to write down songs. So I'll take it to rehearsal, or if I need to learn a song, because I used to write stuff down on pieces of paper, and then I'd throw that bit of paper away when I needed it, and then 3 weeks later I might have to do another gig and need that again, and I haven't got it anymore. So you select your ink colour. So let's call this blues. Okay. Okay, we got verse and we got chorus. Okay, so let's say we got A7, A7, D7, E7, and chorus B7, B7, E7, E7. Okay, this is obviously just an example, and a pretty crap example, but you'll get the gist. So you can then use this to colour code things. Okay, and you can use your finger, or you can use a stylus, whatever. Okay, and you can make it colourful and interesting. So you can also keep in there, you can also create folders as well. So I've got a folder of tunes. Okay, so loads of tunes that I've had to put in here over the years. And then once you've finished with that, you can just fold it and it goes back. Okay, and again, you know, you can turn it, you can use it vertically as well as horizontally. And the good thing about this, unlike a piece of paper, if you take this to a gig, because it's backlit, you can just put it on the floor and you can actually see it, whereas a bit of paper sometimes it's on the floor and you can't see what you're doing. So yeah, this is a really, really good app for keeping a track of songs and or notes or whatever, but you can also use it for drawing. Not that I'm a drawer, but yeah, so that's one of my favourite apps for keeping a track of all the songs that I need to learn. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, give me a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you later.